I can't believe you got me. You really got me this whole time. Hey friends, welcome back to my corner of the internet where we talk all things thrillers, mysteries, and suspense. So today I want to talk about 4 of my favorite thriller book tropes that I will eat up every single time. So a trope in a book is basically a pattern or a cliche or the reoccurring theme in a book. There are so many tropes within each genre. I think romance is like friends to lovers, enemies to lovers, accidental pregnancy, all of that kind of thing. So I'm going to tell you the 4 thriller book tropes that I love. I do have examples for these, but these examples, not all of them are 5-star reads or 4-star reads. Some of them could be like 3 or 2-star reads, but I still want you to know these books that have these examples in it. So let's get into the video. I wanted to tell you guys about the book that I am currently reading, and this has one of my tropes that I love, so I will get into that a little later. But I am currently reading The Institution by Helen Fields, and you guys, this book is good so far. I'm on page 99. I don't even know where my bookmark went. I think I'm on page 99. But this book is about a nurse who works at a criminally insane, like high security prison / hospital. She's a nurse that works at this hospital, but she happens to be pregnant, but her body is found in the beginning of this book, but her baby is no longer with her. We don't know who took the baby. We don't know who killed her. So this forensic profiler has to go undercover into this high security prison, and we are trying to figure out who killed the nurse and who took her baby, and is the baby still alive? So this is a wild book, you guys. So this is a wild book so far. Only thing, these chapters are long. I hate reading a book and I can't finish a chapter. Like, you know when you're tired or you just don't want to read anymore and you're like, okay, I'll read to the next chapter. No. I have been literally putting my bookmark wherever I am at because these chapters are long. But I'm excited to get into this one. So one of my favorite thriller book tropes, this one might be a little controversial, but I eat it up every single time. It is the unreliable narrator trope. I live for an unreliable narrator book. And I said it's controversial because some people are like, well, if you tell people that you love unreliable narrators and you give them the examples of the books, they're like, well, that's just a spoiler. And I don't think so, because you don't know what they're lying about. You don't know if it's deliberate. So an unreliable narrator is someone who is essentially lying to you. They are deceiving you, and sometimes it is being done deliberately, or sometimes they are alcoholics, or they have amnesia, or they black out and they don't really know what's going on. So sometimes it is deliberate. And I don't care what anyone says, a lie can be a twist. Like,
a lie can be a twist.
if you watch Bob's Burgers, like if you're a Bob's Burgers fan, you know, a lie can definitely be a twist, okay? But for the most part, you don't go into an unreliable narrator book knowing that it's an unreliable narrator book. And y'all, I live for them. I live for them. First example of an unreliable narrator is The Fury by Alex Michaelides. Y'all know that I ate this book up. I loved it. I'm not going to go into detail about what all of these books are about, but essentially a socialite and her friends end up on a Greek island because, you know, they want to get away, and someone ends up dead. And so we are following our narrator, Elliot, and he is telling the story through his perspective. And you guys, I also love a good unreliable narrator book because they are always wild. They're wild, outlandish, and I live for those type of books. So this is definitely a good example of an unreliable narrator book. The second example that I have is Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. Y'all, I think I have to go back and read this one because this one still confused me. This one confuses me still to this day, but I definitely loved this book when it came out. These 2 books right here, I think these are done very well in the unreliable narrator trope. So let me know what you think down below. Do you think if you tell someone that it's an unreliable narrator, that it's a spoiler, or you still just got to read the book for yourself to figure out if they're lying or not? So let me know down below if you love a good unreliable narrator or if you don't. It's very divided. Some people feel like, I went through this whole book and I was lied to, but I'm like, I can't believe you got me. You really got me this whole time. So that's how I feel about unreliable narrators, and that is one of my favorite tropes. My second favorite thriller book trope is a locked room or isolated setting. You guys, I think this is a quintessential murder mystery, and you cannot go wrong with a locked room setting. So a locked room or isolated thriller is typically where a crime or a mystery occurs, and it's usually in a highly confined setting. So like in a house, on a boat, or trapped on an island. So it's usually a small setting where it shouldn't be hard to see when a crime occurs in a locked room or isolated setting, but I don't know. It just, all these people never know when it's coming. So I love a good locked room or isolated setting book. So I definitely think Ruth Ware does a great job with her isolated settings or locked room thriller books. So you have One by One by Ruth Ware. One by One by Ruth Ware is about 8 co-workers, and they are going on this retreat, to promote collaboration and mindfulness. And then a snowstorm happens, an avalanche happens, and they are stuck in this hotel and they keep dying one by one. This is the perfect locked room thriller and isolated setting book, and you definitely need to check it out. Another example of a locked room or isolated setting is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. Another one is The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. Now, that is not my favorite book, but it definitely is a great example of isolated setting. So let me know down below if you guys love a good locked room / isolated setting thriller book like me. Oh, I can read these type of books all day. The third thriller book trope that I love, and I think I've told you guys this before in another video, but it is a psych ward or a mental hospital. I will eat that up every single time, you guys. I live for a good psych ward or mental hospital or an asylum, something like that. Oh my gosh, I love them so much, you guys, because they are literally the perfect psychological thrillers, because they are literally messing with your mind. You never know who you can trust in a psychological thriller when it comes to a mental hospital, an asylum, a psych ward, because most of these people are mentally insane and you don't know if you can trust them or if they're telling the truth. That's where so many of the twists come from. It's because, should I really trust this person? They're in here because they committed unthinkable crimes, but are they telling me the truth? And I love them. So some examples you have are The Silent Patient. Obviously, that's one of the most popular ones. Then Shutter Island. If you have not read Shutter Island, or if you have not watched the movie Shutter Island, you definitely need to. It's by Dennis Dehan, or I'll put it up here. But y'all, that one right there, that book is crazy. Definitely listen to it on audio if you have a chance, or watch the movie too. Such a good book. I think I'm still confused to this day when it comes to that book. Another one is Ward D by Frida McFadden, and also the book that I'm currently reading. I know I'm gonna eat this up because it has one of my favorite tropes in there, and that is it being a high security prison for the criminally insane. So you don't know if you can trust these people. You don't know if you can trust them because they're insane. So I love it. If you have a book recommendation for any of these tropes, please leave it down below so I can check them out. Sorry for the light change, y'all. The sun is setting and I'm just like, I'm not trying to take out any lights. It's taking me forever to record this because I just can't get my words together. So my last favorite thriller book trope is a domestic thriller. This is probably 9 out of 10 times what you're actually reading is a domestic thriller. So a domestic thriller typically focuses heavily on relationships. So romantic relationships, co-workers, friends, family. It's usually just trying to figure out why this relationship is so toxic. What happened? Is this, I have a terrible husband, but he appears outside like he's just the greatest man in the world, but behind closed doors, he is beating me. That type of thing. So domestic thrillers are usually focused on relationships of some kind of sort. So some examples of that is What Lies Between Us by John Mars, and that is about a relationship between a mother and daughter. Then you also have Look Closer by David Ellis, which is one of my most recent 5-star reads. This book is about a married couple and we're just going through that kind of relationship. So domestic thrillers typically analyze some sort of relationship, whether it be romantically or a coworker. So 9 out of 10 times you are reading a domestic thriller book. Let me know down below if you have any recommendations for domestic thrillers, or do you even like domestic thrillers? Because I know that's pretty much what a lot of thriller books are. So those are my 4 favorite thriller book tropes. I love them. I love them. I love them so, so much. I am going to do another video about my least favorite thriller book tropes. Now, just because they're my least favorite doesn't mean I haven't read books that I love or rated 4 or 5 stars, but just some tropes that I'm just like, if I see it, I'm like, I'm really not gonna pick that book up. So be on the lookout for that video in the next couple of months. And I say months, yes, because this is probably gonna be my last video for the next month. You're gonna see me go on another month hiatus because I am having surgery and I will be out for at least 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not gonna be able to drive for at least 2 weeks, but I will be able to stay at home and read so many books. I have so many books that I plan on reading over the next few weeks while I'm recovering. It's not an elective surgery. Don't worry, I'm not going to get a BBL. But yes, I will be getting surgery, and so I'm gonna have a lot of time to read my books, and then we are gonna be back with so many good book videos. Oh, I'm so excited for all the ideas that I have and all the books that I want to talk about, because I haven't even talked about half of the books that I've read, and I'm so excited to get into that. I think you're going to be seeing one more video before my surgery, whether it be this one. Well, you're going to be seeing this one, but I think I have another vlog that I haven't even posted. But yeah, I don't know, I'm talking too much. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for your continuous support, for liking, commenting, subscribing. Oh, I love you all. So thank you so much, and don't forget to leave those recommendations down below. See you.